I built a life with a man who never existed. Then his wife called my mother. Am I a victim or a homewrecker? It started in late August 2024. I stood in the UKG conference hall, clutching lukewarm coffee, trying to look busy. That was when I saw him. David. His suit fit perfectly. His smile felt like a secret shared just between us. We exchanged contact info over the crowd noise. His hand lingered on mine a second too long. I thought it was networking. I was 38, career-focused, valued personal space. I did not have time for games. I wanted independence. David seemed to be exactly that. He was charismatic, polished. He listened when I spoke about work. He remembered small details. I felt safe. I felt seen. 3 weeks later, that professional exchange turned into a lunch date. Quiet bistro downtown. Sunlight hit the table, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. He ordered wine. I ordered water. We talked for hours about everything except our personal lives. It felt modern. Within a month, we began seeing each other regularly. He never pushed for too much too soon. He respected my need for space. He came to my home in the evenings. We cooked dinner. We watched movies. He never asked to stay over every night. He never asked for a key. It felt respectful. It felt like the kind of relationship two independent adults should have. I thought I had found a partner. For the next 6 months, November through April, we fell into a smooth routine. He visited 1 or 2 times a week. Always evenings. Always weekends. He was perfect. Attentive. He brought flowers. He remembered my favorite snacks. But I noticed he never invited me to his place. He said he was renovating. He said he traveled for work often. He said he valued his privacy just as much as I did. I believed him. Why wouldn't I? He looked me in the eye. His voice was steady. His hands were warm. I trusted him. I valued trust above all else. I thought we were building something real. I thought we were building a future. I was wrong. In April 2025, David pushed me to label the relationship official. It felt unusual. We were already acting like a couple. Why did we need a label now? He said he wanted commitment. He said he wanted to know where he stood. I agreed. I thought it was progress. But looking back, it felt like an anchor. It felt like he was securing me in place. After that, the pattern continued. He visited my home evenings and weekends. He never introduced me to friends. He never introduced me to family. He never posted about me on social media. I told myself it was because we were private people. I ignored the nagging feeling in the back of my mind. I ignored the silence of his phone when it buzzed on my table. I should have looked closer. 3 weeks ago, my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. The voice on the other end was shaking. It was a woman. She asked if I knew David. She asked if I was seeing him. I said yes. I felt pride in my voice. I felt love. Then she told me. They had been married for over 15 years. They had 2 children. She was his wife. My knees hit the hardwood before I realized I was falling. My chest locked up like a rusted hinge. I dropped the phone. It clattered on the floor. I could hear her voice still coming from the speaker, crying, screaming, asking me how I could do this. I picked it up. I told her I didn't know. I told her I swear I didn't know. She didn't believe me. Why would she? After that first call, I conducted a background check. I needed the truth. Public records showed his home address was in a different state entirely. He had claimed he lived nearby. He had claimed he commuted. The records showed he lived an hour away with her. With them. I dug deeper. I discovered he may have misrepresented his job role. The title he gave me did not match the company directory. The man I thought I knew was a construct. He was a character played by an actor. I was the audience. I was the only one who didn't know it was a show. I sat on my floor surrounded by printed papers. I felt sick. I felt hollow. I felt like a fool. The ground beneath me had vanished. The wife did not stop at calling me. She contacted my mother. She called my mother with accusations. She told my mother I ruined a family I didn't know existed. I heard my mother cry. I heard the confusion in her voice. She asked me if it was true. She asked me if I was a homewrecker. That was the pain spike. Hearing my mother cry because a stranger told her I ruined a family. It was not just my reputation. It was my family's peace. It was my safety. The private pain became public family shame. My mother stopped answering my calls for 2 days. My sisters sent text messages asking what happened. I had to explain that I was the victim. I had to explain that I was deceived. They were not sure if they believed me. I lost them too. Now, I live with the reality punch. realizing every weekend he spent with me was stolen time from a life I was never allowed to see. When he was cooking dinner in my kitchen, he was ignoring his children. When he was sleeping in my bed, he was lying to his wife. When he was holding my hand, he was breaking vows. I question my judgment. I question my ability to trust others. I look at every new man and I look for the lie. I look for the secret. I look for the second phone. I cannot sleep without checking the locks. I cannot answer the phone without fear. The social repercussions are ongoing. People whisper when I walk into work. They know. The wife made sure they know. I am isolated. I am left with the moral dilemma. Should an unwitting participant in infidelity be viewed as a victim of deception or held partially responsible for the harm caused to the betrayed spouse? I did not know. I did not choose this, but the harm is done. The family is broken. The trust is shattered. I feel deeply betrayed. I feel responsible for the pain, even though I did not know. I carry the weight of his lies. I carry the anger of his wife. I carry the disappointment of my mother. David is still out there. He is probably telling them I seduced him. He is probably playing the victim. He is charismatic. He is deceptive. He is bigamous. He is manipulative. I was just trustful. I was just independent. I was just looking for love. He wins. I realize now that independence does not protect you from predators. Trust does not protect you from liars. Career success does not protect you from heartbreak. I am 38 years old, and I feel like a child again. I feel naive. I feel exposed. I spend my nights wondering what I missed. What signs did I ignore? Was he too perfect? Was he too available? Did I want it too much to see the truth? I will never know. I will never get those 18 months back. I will never get the trust back. I will never get the peace back. The wife calls sometimes still. She leaves voicemails. She tells me I should have known. She tells me I should have checked. Maybe she is right. Maybe I am responsible. Maybe ignorance is not innocence. Maybe I am just another part of the damage. I am trapped. I am writing this to warn you. I am writing this to scream into the void. Do not trust the perfect story. Do not trust the man who has no past. Do not trust the silence. Check the records. Meet the friends. See the home. Do not let charisma blind you. Do not let love make you stupid. I was smart. I was successful. I was careful. And I still fell for it. I still lost everything. I still carry the shame. I still hear my mother crying. I still see his face when I close my eyes. I still wonder if I am the villain in her story. I still wonder if I am the victim in mine. The truth is somewhere in the middle. The truth is painful. The truth is that he never existed. And I am the one who has to live with the ghost.
Hello, I'm Dr. Julian Reed. What you've described is not merely infidelity, it is a calculated architecture of deception. The man you encountered operates from a psychological framework I term pathological compartmentalization with narcissistic exploitation. This pattern allows an individual to maintain parallel emotional realities without the cognitive dissonance that would cripple a conscience intact. He did not simply lie, he constructed an alternate existence, one in which you were real to him in the moment, yet entirely expendable within the broader narrative he authored for himself. His charm was not incidental, it was instrumental. Charisma in these cases functions as both camouflage and currency. It disarms skepticism, accelerates intimacy, and creates a sense of exceptionality that makes the target less likely to question inconsistencies. When he pushed to label the relationship official, that was not a gesture of commitment. It was a consolidation of control, a subtle maneuver to deepen your investment while his own remained deliberately, strategically unanchored. I want to be unequivocal, your feelings of betrayal, the self-doubt that now whispers in the quiet moments, the social fallout you did not invite, these are not signs of weakness. They are the predictable aftermath of having your trust weaponized against you. You operated in good faith. He did not. The fact that you valued personal space, that you were career-focused and independent, likely made you both an appealing target and, paradoxically, more vulnerable to this specific form of violation. You were not looking for rescue, you were open to connection. That openness was exploited. The revelation that he maintained a 15-year marriage, children, a residence in another state, these are not omissions. They are active, sustained erasures. Each visit, each conversation, each moment of intimacy was built upon a foundation of deliberate falsehood. This is not the behavior of someone struggling with ambivalence. This is the behavior of someone who has mastered the art of emotional sleight of hand. And now, the wife's retaliation, contacting your mother. casting you as the villain adds a second layer of injury. You find yourself punished twice, first by his deception, then by her rage. This is the cruel geometry of triangulation, even when you never consented to be part of the triangle. Which brings us to the question I leave with you, and with anyone who bears witness to this story when deception is this thorough, this sustained. Where does moral responsibility truly reside? Is the unwitting participant in a lie they could not have reasonably uncovered a victim of predation? Or does the mere fact of their presence in the affair assign them a share of the blame? I do not ask this to absolve or to condemn. I ask it because the answer reveals less about the individuals involved and more about what we, as a society, demand of those who are harmed by truths they were never permitted to know.